10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Complexities turn to ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
Hello? Hello?
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Earth Spirit.
Dire team pick.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back into the TI6 qualifiers. We are here with a losers bracket final between Friendship, Dedication, and Love versus Complexity Gaming here in the American region. It is a best-of-3 series. The winner is secure in a TI berth, whether through the wild card or, of course, through the main event. And the loser is done. They will move on to home. We'll see who comes out on top in this best-of-3 series. My name is Mont, and today I am joined by my remote caster and a good friend of mine, Blitz Dota. Blitz, how the hell are you, man?
About that good friend part? I don't know
Oh.
where that came.
What do you mean, dude? We're good friends. Come on, we're homies.
I'm just messing with you, man.
We
Yeah.
we rode the blackjack table hard many a time, and because of you, I am $1,000 richer. So I'll give you credit for that at the very least.
Disruptor.
Complexity.
Are you?
Turn to pick.
Okay. Facetious. Dude, I don't know. I have no idea. You came in here and you're just like you're questioning our friendship, and now you're just like, I'm so excited for this Dota game. Who knows with you, man?
10
Oh
seconds
my, that's it. We're done. Okay.
5 seconds remaining.
Juggernaut.
The replacements, I believe.
Dire team ban.
What makes you say that? Okay, that's true. That's fair. Yep, but the fact that they've come this far, regardless of that, is pretty impressive, I'd say.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Oh. Yeah, they did it in the group stages. Exactly. Yes, that's correct. That is absolutely correct. Which is crazy to think about. If Complexity beats FDL in that best of one, then they are undefeated through the group stages, I believe, and they make it through to the TI main event over EG, over Digital Chaos, and now they lose to DC in a 2-game series, a best of 3, I should say, in 2 games, and now they're up against FDL and potentially an elimination match. So
Dire team
FDL could win this. It's not unheard of at all. All right.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah, exactly. That ain't no joke. All right, they really are. They're friends with each other. They're dedicated, and they've got some love going on. I mean, let's be honest here. This is first of all, they got top 4 in the Manila Major qualifiers too. So this chemistry has worked out for them, and I believe you now being excited about this game. It took me like 5 minutes and your explanation to do so. If this was like a game of Mafia, like I would clear you at this point. Whoa, really?
10 seconds remaining.
You said you bought one though, or you're about to buy one. Wow, that's some Blitz Dota money going on for right now. So this is pretty much like it's blood money. It's almost like a bribe kind of. Okay, so it's like your first date, and you kind of have to. You're the one footing the bill at dinner, and you're just hoping that she likes you at the end of the day, and that you get more than a kiss. You know, good night. Okay, I see. That's how you feel about MJW right now. Okay, understandable. Let's get into the draft. That's a good point. Let's talk about the draft right now, my friend. We have Jug, Earth Spirit for complexity, which, by the way, Z-Freak, Earth Spirit is something that we've talked a fair bit about. Kevin was talking about it last game and how they would love to go for Earth Spirit Darkseer as their first two. They get the Jug second pick, and then on the other side for FDL, it's Beastmaster Disruptor line. Plenty of lockdown, some good AoE damage as well. Overall, I like the fact that FDL have such good lockdown in this situation and in this draft.
Reserve time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dazzle.
Dire team pick.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Oh yeah, and we need more and more of him too.
I got another brother's life. I see and I think to myself, well, I can find a better way out of this thing.
They haven't.
A lot of people say if thieves need to be hung. At the end of the day, we're just trying to get by on a system that's failed us completely.
I'm you a dog, I'm a dog, and I'm not a dog. For that people, I'm not Jesus Christ, so it's not.
Music? That's not good. It should be that.
I know how to come in. I know how to land. They know that I'm real. I've been in some dark places myself. For me to be alive is a blessing.
Our goal is to show the world.
That's not happening. Has it been fixed, William?
Complexity's turn to pick.
Brian's playing something on the other computer here, and Brian he's pointed that and said that he is sorry. He has fixed the issue. My sincerest apologies, Will. I hope you're okay. No, it went out just through to you, I think. Actually, I don't know. We could have went out to what? It went to Dota TV and you. So. Oh, by the way, does he need to have open mic on, or are we good? Should he have open mic on, Ryan?
Yeah, you should have your co-casters in.
Okay, so no, he should have open mic and
He did.
Okay, so he had open mic on with Cap. He'll have open mic on here, and we'll be good to go.
Oh God, there's like a huge
Ringing in your ears. You're like you have shell shock now, perhaps something like that. That's a mistake. That's on Brian. That's on K-Poptosis. He's apologizing profusely as he's sitting next to me, but you're okay now. You'll be able to deal with it. I know you. Just you're okay. Puck is picked up for FDL, which last time CCNC played Puck, I think against a good mid laner, like I think it was against Weeha in the last major qualifier, it did not go well. So I am a bit. I don't want to say I'm like super concerned about it, but I'm a bit questionable about this pick for FDL. It's good lockdown, don't get me wrong. It's got a slunts, obviously. Good damage, good burst. If you go for Dagon, obviously it's pretty nice as well. But I just feel as though there might be other options for FDL to go mid instead of a Puck. I don't know how you feel about this pickup, Will. What are you looking at for the Puck right now?
Dire team ban.
That's very true.
seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
They're going to try to outclass them or at least show that they have that skill to win just based off of these execution heroes is what you mean.
Complexities turn to ban.
Mm-hmm. With what we're comfortable with, especially. FDL, they are clearly very comfortable with CCNC's puck. We have yet to see what Beast is going to grab for himself on the carry. On the other side, Complexity have picked up a Bat Rider for themselves, which will either be played in the off lane or the mid lane. Actually, it's going to be TA mid, it's going to be Jug safe lane now, and it's going to be Bat Rider off lane. I was going to say it could have been Jug mid because you had talked about that a little bit in the draft, but TA versus puck matchup mid, kind of interesting, and I think actually favors Complexity's TA in this regard because just of refraction being very strong and having probably better base attack damage overall is pretty good with refraction.
5 seconds remaining.
Morphling.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Right.
Deny the range creep in front of you, then immediately just keep right-clicking you under the tower.
Okay. That sounds like it could work out pretty well.
It's how you beat every single matchup that features a TA, and
Okay.
it's why Puck beats Invoker as well.
Okay.
At least for the first 4 levels. I don't know if that was good information, but
No, it's fine. Trust me. I'm learning something new every day. We have now the predictions. I do want to go back to learning from you, but for now we have total number of player deaths by 25. You know, I'm going to go right. We've seen a lot of 0 for 6s, and I'm going to stay, or 0 for 15s. I'm going to stay at 0 for 15. Actually, 25 minutes. What do you think?
deaths by 25 minutes?
Yeah.
What are the number values here?
0 for 15, 16 to 25. Do you have it? If you don't, then
No,
I'm just going to do my own. Or I'm doing my own.
Yeah, just do your own.
Player
That's
with the
fine.
most last hits at 7 minutes. That's going to be, I imagine, probably Chessie. And then I'll give team with the most kills at the end. Complexity, total number of smoke ganks by 25 minutes, 3 to 5. And then we will see how things turn out. So every time you and I cast, I always feel like I'm learning something with you. If you remember last year at the Qualifier Hub, we had a 45-minute Storm Spirit cast where you just told me about all the intricacies that made Storm Spirit a great hero. May he rest in peace. But
Hey
yeah.
man, he'll make a comeback.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure
Alright.
that he'll be buffed someday in the future.
So let's see if CCNC does it. So he's mid. It looks like the favorable block though is going to go the way of the TA because he had help here, and Z-Freak's even camping this area. So yeah, the block's actually pretty huge. So you see, okay, so he right clicks him, he drags the creep weight back,
and then it's rolling bouldered on, and that's to
It's fine,
reserve
though.
away.
The problem though with that move right there and why the Earth Spear makes it is because he knows that CC committed for the orb first, and making the puck waste the orb instead of using it to double wave and forcing him to use it to go defensively is super massive in this lane. It's just one of those like mini mid mechanics that really kind of screw you over.
Yeah.
So now CC right now what he wants to do is he wants to trade hits. You notice that he throws the orb right there. So he's trying to push out the wave and make it so that he doesn't just get hit under the tower, which allows Limp to kind of just like snowball in this lane by constantly sideblading him.
Yeah.
And it's not something that the puck can do anything about because he no longer has the HP to trade.
No. And he'll have to salve up if he wants to get that HP, and again, that's just then you're using your regen for just trying to stay up and ready to go in rounds. So we'll keep our eyes peeled on that mid lane matchup, and I do feel as though Limp will probably have the advantage as we progress through because of the early start that went his way. And on the other side, though, FDL do have MGW. He is going to be straight to the jungle with the Iron Talon. Nobody's really going to be, I think, harassing him. There's no Bounty Hunter or Riki in this game. However, there is an Earth Spirit, so he can try to go for some aggression into that jungle later on down the road. But as far as both safe laners are concerned, both Chessie as well as Bisa are going to get free farm here. And I feel like, who do you think this favors more as we progress through the game?
It probably favors the Morph just because he's a greedier hero. If you notice, he has 420 HP, and gonna go primarily for Agi. And it's okay for the Jug as well though, because he's more of an early game fighting carry. Like if I had to choose the 10-minute thing, I would have probably chosen Morph just because Morph doesn't really want to fight, whereas Juggernaut will accompany his team to most of those engagements.
Yeah.
Like even from level 7 and on. Just because he's such a strong fighting hero, and I think that's part of the reason why FDL has chosen a really strong lineup that can fight without him as well. Like he can just replicate, they can scout with Hawk, look for engagements, and continue to farm.
I'm a bit concerned also that I put, of course, the Jug, and now I'm thinking, well, either it's going to be the TA because she has stacks with Ancients, or it's going to be the Morphling for the exact reason that you just mentioned. One way or another, I'm probably incorrect in that prediction, as I've been incorrect since, I think, the dawn of time, since these predictions have started. But we'll keep our eyes peeled.
I went 0-4 yesterday.
Oh, that's not good. Actually, I went 0-4 last game, so we're kind of in the same boat. Stanking will find Z-Freak, Earthspike will go. I don't think they have the damage. You can Rolling Boulder away if need be. It's just a bit of harass, and of course, he did get that ward down. Z-Freak is looking to try to get out, but no, MGW blocks the Rolling Boulder, and Z-Freak might be giving away first blood, and he will. MGW gets the job done. Great block from MGW. Step that rolling towards the north. Beautifully played.
Underrated MVP is that Boar for slowing him and making his decision making off.
Oh yeah.
Like that MJW was just like, oh, you're so. If you have like 200 move speed, it's gonna be easier to make that block by far. And I would have said for a second like Z-Freak, what he was doing is fine because you're occupying 2 heroes' time. And if you notice what's happening at bottom, Chessie's going for this bottom tower, and this is actually quite huge because. If you look at the levels that the Dazzle has right now, Hanskin, he's already level 4. Like, that's absurd for
that is
how close into the game it is. And
yeah,
going for that bottom tower this early on into the game is really important, Mod, because the later it goes, the harder it becomes. And you want to take out that tier 1 as soon as you can, because a lot of Dota right now revolves around this Radiant safe lane area. So if you can get rid of that tower really quickly, it makes it harder for FDL to just invade. If you saw their last games, what they would continuously do on Dire side like they should is just keep invading Radiant jungle.
Right now they have this push in pressure towards the tier 2 tower. There will be a TP rotation so that Franz can secure himself some experience. He'll restrict the wave. Sand King's down here as well. He's only level 1 on this line. Now finally gets level 2. The Earth Spirit's however level 1 as well, so he's a little bit underleveled on this Z-Freak support. But again, that's almost to be expected for an Earth Spirit. Limp will chase after CC. He has a Lucio up. They really want to fight over this rune, and CC is taking a lot of damage. He's going to try to get the rune and then jaunt away, and he does so beautifully. Nicely done from CC. However, his last hits right now, 16 to 22, could be worse, could be better for CC on the mid lane. But again, it comes down to that start, I think, for Blitz. God.
It's going to be a matchup that's hard to contest into, but it's overall kind of okay just because you expect this out of a puck, and they might even grab this kill on Hanskin, which was pretty
rolling
huge.
Boulder, they get the Hex off, the salve comes through, they need one more right click, and they will find it. Stanking Earthspike, but only one, and Lip will secure that secondary kill, that rebound, rebuttal kill, going the way of Complexity. Nonetheless, though, it's CC&C on the wrong side of the hill, will jaunt through, and he has to run all the way around. Actually, he's just got to cut through the mid lane and back into his lane. And so it is going to be a trade, a 1-for-1 exchange going the way. But Limp gets the kill going the way of Complexity there, which I think is a bit more important. CC will get side-trapped, taking some damage, jaunt away, and try to stay under his tower for the time being.
Yeah, right now, so far, overall game plan, I think, is in favor of Complexity. If you notice, they have 3 out of the 4 top net worths in the game. And their 2 supports are doing okay.
That's swag.
They're...
Oh baby, we just crashed. I think. All right, we're good. Oh, we had a lag spike there. Will, are you still there?
Hello.
Okay, you were saying something about 3 out of the top 4 net worth for Complexity.
Yeah. right now, just changed, but in this mid lane, I think
CC?
he's dead.
Yeah, Boulder Smash, he already used his Lucio Orb aggressively, and so with a no way of escape there, he gets brought down, the phase shift down enough, he tried for a waning rift, didn't actually do anything there to bring him any safety, and so they will find another kill. And that's actually a huge kill for Limp, right? Bringing down the opposing mid laner is always a good thing for the TA in this situation.
Part of it too is that when you play this mid lane, you feel weird about what just happened right now, because now you're okay with the puck being a little bit behind in CS, but what you're not okay with is your puck up at top.
MJW gets caught by the rolling bolt. Shadow Wave doing some nice heal damage as well. He has no roar and he'll go down. No stick charges to save his life. Now Franz, kinetic field might save his life, but Limp with the side blades, and he does get brought down. This time by the poison from Hanskin, getting a double kill. And as you had mentioned, Complexity have the early game advantage and continue to do so, and everything is coming up Complexity right now.
They're just honestly out maneuvering them right now. This Z-Freak, Earth Spirit, has accomplished so much in such a short period of time. He's been in all 4 of the kills right now, which I didn't even think was possible after the kind of start that he had. And more importantly than that, it's because this TA isn't dying and she got the kill onto that puck, you feel pressure on the side of FDL because you know that Limp's snowballing and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And more importantly than that, he's picking up kills. That's the worst thing. Is that when you're playing against a mid hero and you know that he's CSing well, you think it's okay because at the end of the day he's not out XPing you too bad. But now he's got the XP advantage, he's got the farm advantage on you, and this is a snowball hero inherently. Luckily for FDL though, they still have turnaround potential. As soon as their 2 supports hit level 6, those are the 2 of the strongest support ultis that you can get, that Lion Finger of Death and that Static Storm. But they really need this kill to work, and we talked about it, right?
My.
This bottom kill.
Look at where he's situated. He's sitting under the tower right now, and the Hawk is not going to be able to come in because they'll just get scattered out by the tower. And so while this is happening, Complexity are just pushing the mid lane, and there is nothing CC can do about this. This is a kill that is not working because everyone's off the map. Top lane's just missing, mid lane's just missing, and so in order to get this kill on Complexity's Chessie, they have to dive. The Hawk will come, Chessie knows it. The Blade Fury's up, he's got Omni Slash Dimension, and so he's killed the Hawk. He could try to go for a Fury TP, and already they just have more TP rotations coming in. Sure, they didn't take that tier 1 tower down mid, but they might even be able to turn this fight around. And it doesn't look to be the case, however. They will still go to work on the tier 1 mid.
This mid tier 1 tower dropping is really big for FDL right now. Like, you shouldn't give this tower up this early on into the game. It means too much to you. And we talked about it, right? Like, it's not even just the fact that people are missing, it's that you're playing dire side. You know that you're going to invade this Radiant safe lane, but it's a Juggernaut. There's no way that you're going to dive that hero. If he gets spin off, your gank ends, and you potentially just lose the early game right there.
Meanwhile, they will find the roar into Swindle Melons. They lose your Orb. They have the Earth Spike. He's so tanky. The Shadow is coming through as well, and Franz now caught up. The Omni Slash brings down the puck on top of it as well. Stan King getting Poison Touch, the side trap even more slow. Stan King, you're not going anywhere. They have the Healing Ward. They're all back up pretty much to full health now, and it'll be a 3-for-0 exchange as Hans is killing everybody. He's got 3-1-0, gets up to a killing spree. He is a very farm dazzle, almost level 6, and this early game is starting to go very, very poorly for FDL.
It's just too predictable right now. Like, that bottom rotation, we called it at, what, 2 minutes? And it's just because it's what Dire eventually does, but they telegraph it so much. And the main reason is because who wouldn't defend a mid-tier 1 tower? That's the biggest kind of warning sign.
Right.
Is that is a tower you almost never want to give up in the early game, just because think about if the Radiant decide to smoke, they wanna be able to run through this area and get around like this just to make it faster, rather than having to run all the way around this area. Like you never want to just go straight into the high ground. You want to explore as much as you possibly can. So now that you're in a position on the side of FDL where they've lost a lot of map control, they need to hit level 6 on their 2 supports before they do anything. I don't think there's any point in trying to make a rotation. But they just feel pressure too right now, and that's a scary thing in itself. When you just kind of feel like we have to make something happen, because if you look at their lineup, this is ultimately a single core Morphling.
Yeah, it really is. CC is not, he's not accomplishing anything. He is don't tell a boots of speed bottle, and he might get an early veil. I wouldn't call it early at this point, but he's not really accomplishing anything in terms of getting kills. He's yet to use his Stream Coil this entire game so far. So CC, the onus was on him, and it's now not working. Swindle Melons has his Blink Dagger for the Bat Rider. He's looking for fights, and there's so much good vision coming out for the Radiant team. They have a ward over towards mid and in the dire jungle, not to mention over towards that tier 2 bottom, so they see all of these rotations, and the smokes will be even more obvious. So FDL, it comes down to the Morphling getting farm, and like you mentioned, getting level 6 on these supports. But even if they do get those level 6 blitz, I don't see them really finding anything because of just Complexity know where pretty much they are at all times.
Yeah, they're gonna smoke right under the board.
Oh my, that's not good.
But they
might.
knew.
They should know that happened, yeah.
Even before that, though, you notice the way that Complexity is set up? When you're playing Radiant, you mirror Dire at all times. You always mirror Dire. This is the best thing that you can possibly do. They're already going to start TPing heroes in mid. They want to prepare for this fight.
And they're going for CC. Maybe they didn't know about the smoke, or they did, and they just don't care. Flame Break, they've got Lasso. I'm not sure if they need it. They're not going to use it. Lose Europe, Jaunt, Phase Shift, he actually makes it out. But the poison and the burn might take him down. He's low. And he's going to phase shift just to barely stay alive for only a moment longer, as Hanskin's poison will bring him down. He's just not tanky enough, even with double null tally. And that smoke of deceit gank that came up from FDL is ultimately unsuccessful. Not only in that, but they also lose CC on the puck as well.
This game is just... it's pretty much out of hand right now.
Yeah. 7,500 net worth advantage.
They still don't have level 6 online at 12 minutes. Which is kind of the whole, okay, we're in a really bad spot. This is where you start panicking right now. Because the strategies that worked against Void Boys when they played Dire side was take control of the Radiant jungle, span out, put down vision, farm out. But you notice that Complexity is ignoring them. They're mirroring, they're doing the correct thing. They even take this top tier 2 tower because you're playing Dire side, but they don't have any way to Roshan. There's no slaughter on their lineup or anything like that.
So there's no threat of any other objective being taken really by FDL. So they just go for the simple play. So where do you think this went wrong for FDL? Well, obviously the mid lane didn't start out particularly well, and they really didn't get the best, I guess, landing experience for anybody on their side. But where did this really go wrong? Hold that thought, as they might... Oh, Z-Freak is going to walk out of the kinetic field. They could try to go for a glimpse, but it's already too late now. They're going to counter-initiate. Franz,
I think they're going to kill Franz.
Yeah, I think he's going to get rolling bolted on. They do miss. The glimpse back comes through, and okay, he might actually live. But that goes back to my original question. Where did this go wrong for FDL?
I think they're... It's not even like... The weird thing is, it's not even like they're making the wrong plays. Like, even though we're calling the plays and stuff like that, it's not like they're necessarily wrong. It's just Complexity is... They're on top of their game. Like, they're... Right now, they're just playing like the better team. And that's not even to flame FDL, it's just to give credit to coL. Like, this is a clean game for them so far. Like, those 2 deaths were just whatever. Like, you lost 2 supports at the end of the day. The cores are responding really well. Like, Chessie, he game senses and sits by like that bottom tower. They always are in a position to sandwich FDL, more importantly. Like, when they take the fight, they're not just running straight at them, they're forming angles around their heroes.
Pincering, yeah.
That's the number one thing you want to do when you enter a team fight. You always want to cut off angles for the enemy team to run around to.
Good sound from CC, avoid the lasso. I don't think he will survive this time, however, as the lasso is inevitably cast. They even use the magnetize, drop him down. He does get the phase shift to lose your orb, and actually might survive. Another boulder smash might do the job, but he doesn't have it. It's down for 4 seconds. Geomagnetic grip, not enough mana either, and the waiting rift comes through, but he still might go down to the flame break. It's not enough damage, and again, shifted perfectly, and CC is doing all that he can to stay alive. That's it. He's not even trying to find. He's literally doing all of this just to make sure he keeps himself up and ready to go, and he does pick the Veil of Discord, but I mean, they have lost so much. They have lost all of their tier 1s, their tier 2s are now getting assaulted blitz, and I don't know where you find a defense here.
Yeah, they're probably not going to be able to defend. Right now, the game plan is let Beans or Bisa just try to farm as much as he possibly can, and maybe he can pick up this game. But it's not even like Complexity don't have ways to control him. The key to dealing with the Morphling as well is a lot of control. They've got a Bat Rider, they've got an Earth Spear for the silence, like they've got a lot of different ways to burst them as well in terms of physical damage with the Jug and the TA. Like they have their own battling cores. At some point, Complexity will go for a pick off and go for the Roshan of their own.
There is a Lincoln Sphere coming very soon for Bisa. He has enough for the Ultimate Orb, and then Lincoln Sphere recipe is about 1,000, or is 1,000. But with all of this, there is the Omni Slash, so Chessie gets that much more damage. He is about to get level 2 Omni Slash on top of it. Stan King, however, has quietly gotten a Blink Dagger seemingly out of nowhere, yet he's still behind both the Dazzle as well as the Z-Freak or Spirit in terms of net worth. What are you going to do, I guess? And, well, I mean, yeah, that's one good thing going the way of FDL. I mean, at least you got that going blitz.
Yeah, I think part of that is just because he's just been farming, and they should start making moves because they're getting really heavily out-leveled right now, and it's just net worth is not a good position. If you look at it, it's 10,000 gold at 15 minutes. That's pretty unbelievable. 5k XP. It really does just take one fight, but the issue is getting into that fight to begin with.
And even if they do get into that fight, Complexity have enough sustain with the Dazzle, with the Earth Spirit to, I think, survive through a lot of this burst damage. Not to mention Refraction makes everything that much harder. Blade Fury makes everything that much harder. So you kind of have to get really lucky with your Static Storm and hope for the best, honestly. Is the Linkage Sphere is now picked up, and FDL are starting to take control of their own jungle back, but that's at 16 minutes. And for Complexity, it's time. They've picked up the Desolator for Limp. They have a Medallion for Dazzle. They can head to Roche. They have the Blink and Force for Swindles on the Batrider. This is an impressive display of itemization coming out. And they're just going to head into the pit with Desolator and just take this down quickly. I don't see any real way FDL can contend this. And even if they do, I mean, they'll know that this is happening with the Hawk. I just don't see anything they can do about it, really.
Radiant taking Roshan away from Dire. This
Dear
is
Lord.
pretty big.
Yeah.
And they're showing their two supports mid, and that's why Complexity, even after seeing that the Hawk was seeing them, they don't really care. This might even be what prompts the high grounds. Like, they could even just decide to go immediately for bottom. This top tower is being pressured by a puck, but I don't even think they care about it too much. I think the correct move is to go for bottom.
Yeah, I don't see them. Even they could defend the tier 1 and just not give anything to FDL. They have a glyph. I imagine they'll use it, but do they come and defend this? There are a couple of heroes getting ready to fight up and top for FDL. They're situating themselves, and it's exactly as you said. Complexity, they don't care. They're just going to go for the bottom push, take down the last outer tower, which is that tier 2 bottom lane, and look to finish this game off at maybe before 20 minutes. We're one fight away, potentially, Blitz, from this game just ending.
Yeah, that was the old LGD strat to defend all these tier 1 towers, but I think this is the correct move for FDL to just kind of split up. You can't really contest those two towers. More importantly, you always fight where you have vision. I know that sounds like a basic concept, but it's still a rule that not enough people follow. Like, they'll just blindly take fights to take fights, but going for fights that you can simply just always have vision around, pretty important.
Sand King, he'll be the sacrificial lamb. They actually lasso the Disruptor Replicate from the Morphling, which is victory coming out for Bisa, but they do lose Sand King, who actually made a nice play with the Hex coming out to stop the Batrider lasso, but it was only momentarily. And in the end, they lose that hero. They do put some pressure on the tier 2 tower top lane. They're putting pressure on the tier 1 tower mid. Bisa, without the Replicate, might need to be careful. He does have that, obviously, that Linkage Sphere, and Lippy's going to come through Strength Morph. How much damage can he endure? He needs to waveform out, but he gets stunned up, and then the Shadow Wave, and he just can't make it through. They don't even care about the Linkage Sphere. They don't care about how tanky he is with Strength Morph. They have a Desolator, they have Shadow Wave, they have the Battle Fury for Chessie, and it's now time to go high ground.
Yeah, they're in such an advantageous position. They know without the Morphling split pushing, they're not losing anything during this trade. And I mean, if you're a Complexity fan right now, namely Beef, you're probably going like, yay!
Shout out to Beef.
Yeah,
and
game 1 looks like it's... I saw this from Void Boys yesterday, though, that they somehow lost the game from this kind of position, but it's going to be hard for FDL to
I don't see that happening. You have to make some critical errors for Complexity, and you have to make some big plays for Sand King and FDL. And Limp, well, he just kills Sand King in 2 shots. He won't get it done, though, because the Earthquake is there, but they do get the last one, the MGW, into the Omni Slash, and he won't even get his roar off. He doesn't have buyback. He just bought the Necro 2 as well, so he's dead for 36 seconds. Pretty low respawn time, I guess, the one thing you can look at. Limp still has the Aegis. He's got a Shadow Wave up, though, and still stay alive. And they'll just back up. They're okay with getting a tier 3 tower and some maybe small hits onto the melee rack. So they'll wait for another creep wave and then go back in again. And I don't know what you do here. I mean, other than just try to find the best possible fight that you can for FDL. But it looks like actually Complexity are backing up. They're going to say we could just farm a bit more. We don't have to push high ground yet. In fact, if we die here, we might just throw away a lead that, like you talked about with Void Boys yesterday, that might actually happen again. Although I think they're being a little bit too defensive here.
Yeah. Who won the last hit thing, by the way, at 10 minutes?
It was, I believe, the Morphling, Bisa.
Yes.
So you were correct. And everything else is right now looking like... let's see here. Total number of Smoke King kills by 25 minutes. Apparently none have happened. Team with most kills to the end is going to be Complexity. looks like, unless something drastic changes, which it certainly could. And CC is going to be caught by a... Actually, he avoids that poison touch, but he doesn't avoid the geomagnetic grip and magnetize, and Z3 finds himself a kill. Plus 2,200 gold, which is probably going to be almost certainly a blink dagger if he wants. Limp almost brings down a home MJW, but he's able to get out in time, even with the melt strike there. It wasn't enough
Grab a
damage.
Solar Crest Hanskin.
Oh, God.
The 20-minute support Solar Crest, I'm telling you, it's really broken. It's so strong.
Would imagine. I mean, you're not technically supposed to get that item at 20 minutes on a 5 position support dazzle, but that's how it goes. Lasso onto MJW yet again, and they will almost certainly bring him down a second time. No defensive support there. No false promise like that with an Oracle. They only have, obviously, the Disruptor with, of course, but it's just not enough. They lose MJW once more. Chesty goes to work on the racks where Limp gets, of course, Earth Spike, but he has Refraction up, and that's going to be more than likely the racks going down. Kinetic Field is there. TP coming in, and that should be it. CC jumps in with the Veil of Discord. Does some nice damage to Chesty. Gets off finger, misses the Earth Spike. Might have gotten the kill, but Sandpeak dies to 2 hits coming out from Limp, and now is going further with his BKB pops. Bronze will be next. Dream Coil is going to come out there looking for Chesty. Omni Slash comes in. Phase Shift is out. All right, they bring down Chesty at the very least, but Limp will finish off the rack. He's the unstoppable Juggernaut. He's looking for CC. Phase Shift comes in again, and CC is the only one alive. The respawn comes through from NJW, but it's a triple kill for Limp, and they are about to take this full set of racks. 21 minutes in, 17-3 is the score, and Complexity are rolling this first game over FDL.
This is just straight up destruction. Yeah, there's that Solar Crest that we were talking about. The
God.
22-minute, you're not going to fight that. Like, look at the Morphling's items. He's not going to have MKB or anything like that. So this mischance this early on into the game is so value for your team. They're getting more gold, by the way, Complexity, from taking these buildings, and they're getting from kills on FDL at this point. Because FDL just doesn't give them money.
They don't have enough money in the bank to actually be worth anything in Stan King's eyes to... A boulder smash into a Geomat. He has like no HP. He's level 8 Tranquil's Blink. He's not going to really help him survive against any of these heavy experienced heroes who just dish out all of the damage in the world at this point. And that's 2 sets of Raxes. They can head top. They can try to finish off this third and get Megas. At this point, still are kind of thinking, well, what do we go for next game? Or they're just kind of prolonging the game when I don't want to say that they have to GG out or the game is actually emphatically over. It feels like it is, but I don't really know where you go from here for FDL, to be honest.
If you're in this position, I think the big thing for FDL is to try to hold the next high ground. You can't give up the Roshan. That's probably the biggest thing, because killing a Templar Assassin with a Blink Dagger and a BKB at 23 minutes that also has the support of a Solar Crest is going to be incredibly hard.
Oh, this is a man fight that I don't believe you can win. He's going to try it, though, and Limp's actually running. But Chesty kills MJ's top lane. He even popped the Necro for it, too. I think he went for the Roar, but actually couldn't get it off in time. I think the Omni Slash was used. No, it was on cooldown. It actually just comes off cooldown now. He doesn't have mana for it, though. And Limp was able to hightail it out of that engagement with the Morphling and go up to the top lane, try to finish off this last set of racks, and I don't see him being unsuccessful on that with Chesty and Complexity and the rest of this crew.
Yeah, FDL have one opportunity to take a fight. They still have Roar available. Unfortunately, they don't have a huge damage source, which is their Necrobooks. Weave gets dropped down, so this isn't a fight that you necessarily want to take.
Swindles went deep for that last.
Goodbye. That's your lion gone.
And he is dead for third again. A pretty low respawn time, but now all 3 sets of racks gone. That is going to be GG for FDL. That is an FDL, again, remember this is the team that beat Complexity in the group stages. They had an okay time against Complexity in the first best of 3 they played in these playoffs. And so far, the second best of 3 is not going well, Blitz. And I don't even know where you go with game number 2, but boy, you have to change something up.
I think their lineup was just, it was too pigeonholed. They're solutions. That's why you can come to game at some point.